Hi, I'm Yoram Solomon, and I'm here to help you be a more trustworthy salesperson. And you know why? Because as a trustworthy salesperson, you can sell the same product or service for 29.6% higher price and still get the deal. This video is part of the book, Can I Trust You? 50 plus 1 habits that will make you a trustworthy salesperson. In 2018, I conducted one of my original studies. Initially, as an open-ended question, I asked participants what was the most important quality for them in other people. I then took the top 5 qualities and asked the same question, but this time as a quantitative survey. So this time I was more specific. I asked participants about the most important quality in 6 types of people: their bosses, their employees, their colleagues or peers, a salesperson trying to sell them something, their government representative, and their spouse. Based on the initial study, I gave them these 5 options: willingness to work hard, willingness to take risk, intelligence, trustworthiness, or good looks. I know, good looks was one of the top options. Thankfully, only 0.85% of the participants ranked good looks as the most important quality for them in other people. Unfortunately, 0.85% of people ranked good looks as the most important quality in other people. But that's a topic for yet another book. Trustworthiness was the highest ranked quality, with 60.7% of participants ranking trustworthiness as the one most important quality for them in other people, compared to 39.3% for the next 4 qualities combined. But what type of person did trustworthiness rank the highest? Salespeople. The survey participants told me that trustworthiness was the most important quality for them in salespeople 76.7% of the time. The next quality, intelligence, was the most important quality in salespeople only 13.3% of the time. So I decided to see if they're willing to put their money where their mouth was, and I came out with a second study. In my second study, I presented new participants with a scenario. In that scenario, they had to purchase a home renovation project estimated to cost about $10,000. After thorough online research, they narrowed down the possible contractors down to 2 companies and invited both to bid on the job. Within the first 20 minutes, they realized that one of the salespeople was very trustworthy, and the book and the videos will tell you exactly how, while the other was completely the opposite, not trustworthy. After both salespeople assessed the job to be done, they took measurements, they gave you a proposal. Both proposals were exactly for $10,000. Which one would you choose? The trustworthy one or the less trustworthy one, the cheaper one? Well, you'll be surprised how many people thought this was a trick question. Of course, you'll choose the proposal from the trustworthy salesperson. And that was the answer given by 100% of the participants in this stage of the study. And this reminded me of a joke. A bear was chasing 2 friends in the forest. As the bear was closing the distance to them, one of them stopped and started putting on his running shoes. His friend started laughing at him and asked, "Do you think you can outrun the bear with those shoes?" The first friend looked at him and said, "I don't have to outrun the bear. I only have to outrun you." You see, being a trustworthy salesperson means that when you are up against an equal offer from a less trustworthy competitor, you get the sale 100% of the time, period. But I wanted to stretch this further. Remember, I wanted to see if you're willing to put your money where your mouth is. So I asked the participants, who would they choose if the trustworthy salesperson was asking a 10% higher price, or specifically $11,000 instead of $10,000 from the cheaper offer? I gave them 4 options now: the trustworthy salesperson, the cheaper proposal, I'm not sure anymore, kind of a 50-50, or neither one. What would you do? Well, 100% of the participants still chose the trustworthy salesperson over the cheaper proposal. I learned that there were three major factors that played the role in making that decision. One, the percentage of your income that the price, in this case $10,000, represents. Two, the complexity versus manageability of the overall project. And three, the consequences of making the wrong decisions. Would you prefer cheap over trustworthy if the project was not a home renovation project, but to conduct brain surgery on your child? When I asked how many would be willing to choose the proposal from the trustworthy salesperson over the cheaper proposal if the trustworthy salesperson was asking for 20% higher price, the results started declining from 100%. In fact, only 58, and I say only, 58.2% of participants remained committed to select the proposal from the trustworthy salesperson. But out of the remainder, 32.7% said they didn't know anymore, which meant that they would not be willing to go outright and select the cheaper proposal, which came from an untrustworthy salesperson, or give up the project altogether. So then I raised the price by 50%. So now we're at $15,000 from the trustworthy salesperson compared to $10,000 from the other. 21.8% still chose the trustworthy salesperson, while 38.2% remained on the fence. What does that mean? When calculating those percentages, I reached a very simple quantitative conclusion. A trustworthy salesperson can sell the same product for 29.6% higher price. Let me say this again. A trustworthy salesperson can sell the same product for 29.6% higher price. This is a very powerful statement. However, let me ask you something. As a salesperson, how much do you dread discounting your prices just to compete with another proposal? Let me rephrase the previous statement on the negative side. If you're selling against a trustworthy salesperson, you will need to discount your price by 22.8%. That's more painful, isn't it? I have one final note for you. I want to make sure that you understand that my objective with this book is to teach you how to become a trustworthy salesperson, not to teach you tricks that will make you appear to be trustworthy and fool your customers to think that you really are. With that in mind, in the next 51 videos, let me offer you 50 plus 1 habits that will help you become a trustworthy salesperson. Does that sound like a plan? To learn more, simply text the word trust to 21,000. That's trust to 21000. And remember, I'm here to help you be a more trustworthy salesperson, because as a trustworthy salesperson, you can sell the same product for 29.6% higher price and still get the deal.